What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. My name is Sean, aka Elite, and today I've got more FIFA 23 news for you guys. A couple of videos ago and all over Twitter, I said that EA had effectively ruined pro clubs in FIFA 23 before FIFA 23 even came out. And the way they did that was they announced that FIFA 23 would be crossplay, and everybody got excited because you can, combine all the transfer markets on Ultimate Team. You can play with their friends no matter what console they're on Pro Clubs, all that. Maybe even Volta could get a little bit of a boost. But then they said, nope, it's not happening for Pro Clubs. Just Ultimate Team and the thing similar to that. So you don't get to play Pro Clubs with the people that aren't on your console, which is a huge buzzkill. And given the fact that Pro Clubs has had nothing revolutionary added to that game mode in the better half, probably the whole entire last decade, it's very disappointing that this was the one thing everybody got excited for and then EA just let us down. But with all the backlash, there was a movement started by the community called SAVEPROCLUBS. It's basically all of the biggest content creators going out and saying, hey, this isn't good enough. We have been ignored way too long. And they put out a Marcus Rashford-like text on Twitter saying, hey, I need a change. And this has got to come now or we're not buying FIFA 23. It's going to hurt your pocket. I understand Pro Clubs isn't a game mode with microtransactions, so we're just not going to buy the game at all. So this is what they said. It's a message on behalf of the Pro Clubs community. All of us, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and more, we demand an explanation as to why you have yet opted to overlook and bypass Pro Clubs in the cross-play game modes. As a community leader that has put 10 years into the game mode, I feel that the time has come to be a leader in asking the very public and direct questions to EA Sports in regards to why yet again for another year the game mode that we love has been ignored. Now, when this came out, I actually went to the EA Game Changer, or I guess it's called Creator Network now, Discord, because I'm part of that, and I went to the Pro Club section, and despite the fact that I'm more of an Ultimate Team guy, I said, is there any plans to actually add it mid-year? Is there any idea on if there is at least want to add it to FIFA 23? And like usual, I get just completely aired, ignored, no response. And I get that maybe most EA employees probably can't respond to that, but just to acknowledge that they saw it at all would be kind of nice. So they said, I know you have eyes on everything, every YouTuber, every content creator, every Twitter account like this. I'm not one of the guys who will rail you every year for not putting tattoos in the game mode, but I will now be the guy who questions why you want the game mode to die out completely. It goes on, and it basically explains how the game mode will collapse if you continue to ignore it. It has so much potential, but it hasn't been acted upon. And that has been retweeted and spread all over the community. I've seen so many big YouTubers like JCC tweeting out and making videos on this, just absolutely outraged about it. But then B. Ford Lancer tweeted something that kind of explained what is the problem. As many of you guys know, I'm good friends with Jake Barford, aka B. Ford Lancer. He also lives in Cincinnati, Ohio, and he's taken off in the career mode aspect of FIFA in terms of content creation. And he's gotten a lot of opportunity to go to the EA headquarters, get really close connections to EA themselves. Sure, I'm in the Creator Network, but I've actually never been to Vancouver to visit their HQ and talk to many of their employees. I've only met like 3 or 4 of them, and most of them have actually left EA since I've met them. So I don't have many connections like he does, and he decided to tweet this out. He said the truth behind FIFA 23. He says he's spent the last 2 years a part of the EA Design Council where I get to talk to developers and community managers on a monthly basis. He has visited the EA studios in Vancouver twice to meet with people who make FIFA in person, and what he has learned is that the game is broken. That is what he claims. The basic foundational code of the game is too old, it's outdated, and all of the employees that had built that code up from the ground up have left, and so the new employees just cannot figure out a way to make this code work with the changes that FIFA needs. We've seen these changes be introduced to other games. Years ago, Fortnite was able to introduce cross-platform for pretty much every single console back in 2017, 2018, and most games have quickly followed suit. And we've seen it added to pretty much every new game since. FIFA and all of EA's games have really lagged behind in that just revolutionary change to video games themselves. So because the code of the game is so old and complex, it makes certain tasks that you would think would be easy extremely difficult. And here's the thing that I've gathered. These EA employees, they don't actually want this game to go to crap. They just don't know how to fix it. And if it would come down to EA making a decision of building the code from the ground up again, which is going to cost a lot of money, it's going to cost a lot of effort, hours, and risk, or they could just copy paste the code every single year that we've seen and make a couple tweaks, change the player ratings, and throw it out there. They're always going to choose the latter, because as far as we've come in a FIFA community and as far as this game has come, one thing always stays true, and that is that EA loves money. That is the bottom line. And if it comes down to money, that is what they're going to prioritize. They are a business. But here's where everything changes, or at least some people think. It's that we've gotten a response due to the outcry, due to the Save Pro Clubs hashtag and movement. Richard Waltz, who is the game designer and director for Pro Clubs and Volta, he responded. And he says he wants to start off by speaking on an important topic in the community, which is crossplay. He says, I want to see crossplay as well. They understand the frustrations that are coming with the fact that it's not going to be in FIFA 23. He says, we're excited with the first steps to bringing new crossplay features to FIFA 23, which is, he's referring to Ultimate Team. He recognizes what crossplay could do to Pro Clubs and how it could really save that game mode. And then he says, with the third paragraph here, with the scale of such an important feature, our goal is to bring you the best possible experiences, which is the most bland, nothing sentence I've ever read. There's absolutely no substance in that sentence whatsoever. It's just, hey, we want it to be good, we just can't. He says, as we look at our cross-play future, we're focused on matchmaking in Pro Clubs, Volta, FUT Co-op, and cross-platform lobby invites, cross-platform Pro Clubs. And that's what we've known. We know that it should be added. We understand that. But in no point in this does he say it will be added. And I think that means that we're probably waiting until whatever this next FIFA is, because we know it's not going to be called FIFA. It'll be called like EAFC 24 or something. And that's probably the soonest we can expect it, because we assume that with them losing the FIFA licensing, this would be a good opportunity for them to write a new code and build it from the ground up again. But honestly, I don't know. But we're seeing a lot of people on Twitter, like here, he says, FIFA 23 Pro Clubs will have crossplay over launch. You guys did this. Save Pro Clubs actually worked. Guys, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you guys are misreading the paragraphs that got sent out from EA. At no point did they promise that Pro Clubs would come at the beginning of FIFA 23 or in FIFA 23 whatsoever. As somebody who's a veteran of this community, I am very much so leaning towards the fact that it's not going to happen during FIFA 23 at all. It just would not make any sense, despite the fact that I would be super happy if EA did pull it off. It just isn't looking likely. So that is your update on FIFA 23 news. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know it's not all good news, but I wanted to keep you guys in the loop. And if you guys want to see more FIFA 23 news, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button as well. We're gonna come out with a web app guide to make you guys coins at the beginning of FIFA 23 Ultimate Team, along with all of the other SBCs, FIFA 23 ratings, and more news along with that. So do not miss out on that. Turn on the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.